drinking water source protection program. This has been a work in progress for quite a while now, and
Many
it's,
years?
it's nearing completion, so we just wanted to have an opportunity if anybody was gonna come or wanted to ask questions about it. This was it's a packet about this thick. It was funded by the state, state funded engineers. They did a bunch of studies and came up with this plan. A lot of it's talking about it's basically protecting our water source, which is the two wells in the area surrounding it. How to best do that, potential issues, that kind of thing, and they put it all into this lengthy plan, so that's what it is. We have time as well, so I'm just I'll just mention a few highlights that or things that were kind of covered under this plan is regulating potential contamination sources, whatever they may be. And working together with those companies or agencies to minimize or mitigate those issues. Outreach and education for agricultural activities.
Gotcha.
Do they specify like an area around the well?
They are,
I
yeah.
unmuted him.
To get out here. I have
Okay.
nothing stapled out here. This one. Yes, they printed us a map, nice and pretty like and everything else.
It's called the critical environmental area.
This is the whole, this is what we're gonna talk about here too, a little bit, but this is the whole watershed that comes down through, and this is what they're concerned. From, it's like a kind of that. Okay, but yeah, we're gonna have a discussion about that in a few minutes or two. Because that's my area of concern.
She give us a resolution on that.
Anybody else want to see this? I didn't think
This is
to
about
ask
the
anybody else
increases,
want to see
right?
it.
Big radius around the wells? Where they're talking? Or
It
just
goes
put
through,
up?
there's a strip that comes down from the sucker pond. Right down, well, I'll show you here.
All right, just, I didn't know how big a radius they're
Will that be
talking about.
available online to look at somewhere or?
I
will put it up. I have the.
This is the whole watershed. that
Plan
comes down
there,
to
is that in the plan?
Okay, this
Well,
is your.
technically, the critical environmental
Sucker
area
pond.
that we're looking at here hasn't been
And
officially
there's the two of them.
passed or accepted as
But now,
the.
see, whoops, no, there again, no, this is the same.
I don't see why it isn't going to be. I mean, all the research is how they came up with it.
Tell
I can
me
put it up
that the
as a
lake,
tab
you know,
there.
that
Set
episode
it
down
up
the
for
lake,
the
or that's all that
website.
have effect on that too.
Yeah, because we'll actually be having a public hearing on
Okay.
that part of it in the next couple
But
of
that's what they're
months.
concerned about. And as usual, when
Yeah.
Question for
Yes.
Yeah, I was just curious. So that's the way it is. They say it falls from sucker pond down through there.
it's the,
You would have thought that would have been closer toward.
Kind of wanted to join with,
Not coming through.
Just
Beaver.
sort of a little discombobulated today.
this reminded
the
me.
way
when I
the
saw this.
aquifer flows.
Okay.
I mean, the aquifer comes up, you know, all the way down through McKinnon Street. And
Yeah.
goes, you know, down past, it's been proven it's past the gravel.
So good.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Thomas.
Hi.
So anyways.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, that's fine. It's supposed to be a public session anyway, so.
Mhm. We will try to answer any questions you may have.
One of the things that was talked about was well land ownership and control, which we don't have right now because the county owns the property. There was some talk about that there may be some grants out there to try to accomplish that. I'm not sure how that, if that's even a possibility.
I was gonna say, do you
Just
think that the county is actually gonna even entertain that situation? I don't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's what I mean.
But at the same time, I would hope that they would never do anything that would put us in a
Would
bad
would
way.
jeopardize them,
Right.
exactly. Cause they're using it too.
Yeah. Well, with this project with the national fuel was doing, I think it's JD Northrop that's doing most of the work though.
Yeah, he's doing the transmission line right there on, Hazelmere. I'm assuming that's where that big line coming on, Franklinville's going to there. Because these guys down there said that, it's for the cheese plant to get more fuel.
Oh, really? They
They
just,
just put it on the line.
it's an additional line or a different line?
Additional.
Yeah.
Because the big gas main cuts across Hazelmere, goes behind the fire hall and all that.
Thank you for
Oh,
that.
no.
And it goes somewhere through the field by the town going from south.
Yeah.
Where our wells are, what's that? I mean, that's gotta be right there close,
Yeah.
the big gas line.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mrs. Kiesler. Kicking. Just not very hot. I see.
I haven't had time, they've been calling, I set up an appointment, but.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I can't get out there, you know, so, well, let's do it tomorrow. You know, it's like,
So they're following up.
yeah, they're following up, it's just, you
Yeah.
can't get. But unless you wanna meet with them and come down. That's the only thing is,
Yeah.
right now it's touching over, makes sense. Yeah, with snow. And I figure, I'm like that for 51 years and I've lived here,
Yeah.
another couple months isn't gonna hurt, put it together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, no, that's, you're 4 months direct, so we're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really not the wreck that's the problem, you know, it's
Yeah.
everyday use,
Yeah.
it's when nobody's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Tim? Can you bring them guys up to speed on what was going on Hazelmere with the gas company wanting to dig? Dig that up now, and Randy's concerned about them damaging our water line?
Yeah, Randy's been in touch with Bob about it.
Yeah, I talked with Randy for over an hour this morning.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, Tim, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Randy called me today and said that there was no water here. I already knew about it. She called me, the water, it was frozen.
Yeah, I did that once before, and said, I went home, I said, I have no water. And he's like, yeah, I don't believe you. And he goes, it can't freeze. So he came here, and by the time he came here, it had thawed enough.
It thawed, it's all-
So he's like, you don't know. I'm like, I don't, I can solder, I'm not. Today, I'm like, I have the water again. He's like, I bet you do. He came down, he's like, no, you don't. Thank
And I
you.
found out why too. Cause outside that one window has got a fan in it. Never knew that. I was in the library all as a kid, never knew there was a fan downstairs. Wide open. There was a foot and a half of snow in that hole
Oh.
and there's snow on the pipe. So I gotta get the wall open tomorrow. I got half the wall open today, so I get some heat down there, so hopefully she'll unlock. But I'm pretty sure it's the pipe that goes to the bathroom here.
We should make that
Cause
announcement.
the main,
There's no bathroom tonight.
the main is, the main's all warm. So I'm
Right.
assuming it's underneath where that air was blowing on that. pipe.
Right,
So,
right.
but I got her open as much as I can today that it gets heat in there.
But we don't have a bathroom tonight because the water's froze. Apparently.
Hopefully.
Yeah, now we're pretty much go, yes. I'll give you my key, you can go 5 doors down, yeah.
Call out Pete.
There you go. Just get over there before 8.
Yeah.
Turned off the light. Wow, that's so-
Yep, yeah, everything's off over there. Winterized.
Ready? Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the
To the
flag
flag
of
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I make a comment, Josh, before we close the session?
Yeah,
That I am totally think we need to take care of our drinking water. Cause it's there again, as important as it is and everything else, but we can't blame it all on the agricultural end of things. That's one thing I wanna make sure. Some of the redoing on some of this and. So it's that it's in public, it was in the public, so.
Yeah, you'll have Jeff Tingu down at the meeting.
Is he coming? Or is that a threat?
That's coming from the soccer pond, it wouldn't be, it would be Brian Andrews. It had
Well,
nothing to do
Brian-
with you.
Jason coming across Burmasters.
No.
What's just in general, Tim, is what I'm getting at. I mean, I
Yeah.
gotta say, we gotta,
And I haven't.
the guys have been doing a fantastic job. Tom, you know it,
Yep.
working with Jeff, that
Yep.
everybody's been minding their P's and Q's for a lot of years now, and
Oh,
that's why I say, I don't, as far as I'm concerned, they have a little too much blaming it on agriculture, or, wanting to guard agricultural
too
closely,
much on that.
that I don't think it needs to be. So I think we need to talk about it at the next meeting a little bit more.
Yeah, we don't even use manure anymore down in town, guys. We spray now down there.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm good with that.
So. All right, I said my piece, I'll shut up.
Thanks, Bob.
Roll call.
Yes,
Josh,
yes.
Bob,
Yep.
Frank is in a meeting in Florida, he can't attend tonight. Tom?
Yep.
Nick?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, can we have a motion to approve last month's minutes?
Yep, so second.
All in favor?
All right.
I,
Sorry, I was waiting for a roll call. I'm like, wait a
Oh,
minute.
No.
All right, so this is our time to have any petitions and requests from the floor. We have any?
Is there any
Yes, sir.
update or any agreement between Sega for the water? How's that coming along?
Currently, there's not an agreement. There's been some back and forth and it's, w-
Currently,
basically,
Dave Whitefield, that's the
Yeah.
last attorney sent to Dave.
Yeah.
Progress.
Yes,
yeah, progress.
It's going in the process, let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's still our hope that we can, get it rectified here soon. But yeah, we're just waiting right now for a response back and go from there. Anyone else? Yep. I don't have. I haven't
we
seen,
they may be in the email, I didn't
Okay.
get to the email today,
Yeah.
so we may
unless it was
have
later on.
financial reports, I send them as soon as I get them, but,
Okay.
I didn't have a chance to check all the emails tonight when I got back.
Tim,
Oh, so it's been a busy month. Plowing, sanding, obviously everybody knows about the American rock salt and salt shortage. I had stocked up enough beforehand, so I had a good stockpile. It's running a little low after that last two ice escapades we had. So I do have an order in, it'll be here in a few days, so the salt shortages. Basically, they don't have a third shift, or they didn't have a third shift on, so they didn't have enough material above ground. Because last year Compass Minerals had the county bid. So that's why everything is screwed up. So they're going down, you'll hear them on the news, they're going to Albany to pick up that, because they sent train cars to Albany, which they do every year. Out that end of the state for salt. Well, they're not using it out there, we are, so it's coming
They're
back.
coming back.
So knock on wood, everything's been going good with me, the trucks, everything's great, the guys are great, with that ice episode, we started a little earlier and ended a little earlier, so that helped. Kept the ice to a dull minimum, I don't think we had any crashes on our end, so. I know a couple other towns had trucks in the ditches and stuff, so it was icy. But kudos to my guys, they stayed right with it and stayed right on. Everything went good there.
Great job, guys.
They're doing a great job, Tom.
Everything's winged back, obviously, we've had wind like crazy and it just plugs up, so we're trying to keep them winged back, so we don't have to do the overtime, because Kathy's like, you're getting into your overtime budget. So that's why a lot of it's a wing back far, so we don't have to come out all the time. Two other towns are working right now because of the wind, so, when we're not. So that's been that, I did got your numbers for the truck and the loader, I did work him down a little more today, so I got a couple $100 off. So everything's going good there. We're gonna have to address the shop issue down there with the ice. We've got an ice issue on the roof bad. So we've been up there chopping it off and taking care of it. It leaks in pretty good. Of course, the building's 105 years old, so.
You can see out through.
Yeah, we fill all them cracks with spandy foam as much as we can. Which there again, Becky called me today, and there's no water here, obviously. I went downstairs, tore the wall apart, got to the pipes, and coming from the outside by this wall on this side, there's a fan that never got sealed up back in the day, must be. There was 1.5 foot of snow inside.
Whew.
Dug all that out, insulated it around. Hopefully get some heat down that side, and I'll work on that tomorrow, get the rest of the wall down so we can heat up that pipe. It's the service line that goes in here. I don't think the main is froze. Like that one year that we had welders hooked up because it was bad. It's been about 10 years since we've had to go out and push snowbanks back with water. This is one of the old fashioned winters. It really is. But not like back when you guys when I was young, real young. So everything's going good there. We have switched to salt or sand around the lake. I didn't want to because we are running a little short on salt. Until we get some, then we'll switch back over. I do have all my broom bristles and my summer jobs ready to go. Hoping for a CHIPS fund. We're going to Albany to see if we can get some more, obviously. If they would just go back to the old way of putting the old stuff in back when you guys were younger, blacktop stayed black a lot longer. Now they're using water and oil, and that's why the roads are falling apart. Plus you put all the salt on it. They would just go back to the old way, we wouldn't be going asking for more money, because the road was last. So, and we've tried to reiterate that with this many times, but they don't want to hear that.
Oh, heavens no.
So, but I did talk to a gentleman from Kathy Hochul's office at our county meeting, Frank Puglisi. He was the town clerk for town of Linden, and he now works for Albany right out of Kathy Hochul's office. He did have some grants and stuff that he'd be interested to talk to Josh, which I'll get him the information. He wants to come down and talk to you guys about some grants for the pool, maybe pool changing room and all that, change everything new. You know, there's grants out there for that. There's multiple grants out there, and because he's from Linden area and we're the closest to his area, might be who of us to contact him about that stuff. So,
Yeah, but we thought that of somebody else that went to Albany too,
I know.
and we know how much that helped.
you know,
Jim, I'm sorry, would you share that person's name again? It's
yeah, Frank Puglisi.
Puglisi.
Yep,
Thank
that's how you spell
you.
it. Not at all.
Thanks.
But yeah, so far everything's running good.
You want to talk about the heaters? When she dealt with that?
Oh, yeah, so she came in here, the heater downstairs was shot. Or we fixed that, I had a guy come in and fix it, he showed me how to reset it, so if something happens, I can come down and reset it again. But it's time to put a new one in, and it was $4,500.
How many years ago did Fred tell us we needed to change that?
I don't know, a long time ago,
That was a long
so,
time ago.
so that's been taken care of, the new heater system will be shortly, I guess, so. But yeah, it was pretty cold in here. So, and there's a heater, it's under her office in the corner on this side, and there's one under here in this corner on this side, so there's two per heater. This one's still going strong. It's a scary
Same age.
situation to get in there, it's the same age, yeah, but it's a scary situation to get into that one.
Mhm.
So, but I mean, that's something you're gonna have to also look at is what we're gonna do, you know, I mean, do we sink $1 million into this building, or do we start to look at a process of something different, because.
We need Beamers to close up so we can get their building.
Yeah, the basement is pretty bad, so I mean, it's,
Scott estimates approximately $2 million to totally revamp this building and make it completely.
That's all?
Yeah, 2 million is what Scott
Right
estimates.
on.
Not bad. We got that in our coffers, don't we?
right,
I know.
But you have to realize if you do that, you still only have 1/3 of the building. We don't.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There'd be more if we're putting elevators in and redoing the upstairs and basement to make them usable for the public.
yeah. Yeah, forgot about the heater now.
So I guess I'll keep my mouth shut about bringing up the cupolas again.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, you know, it would be nice to see this, you know, it's historical, I get it, but it's coming apart quick, you know, it really is, it's been years.
Yeah, it's maybe lived its time.
You know, it's time to think
Yeah.
about that, you know, at least get it on the side burner, you know,
Well,
move from the.
there
back to
again,
the
it's gotta be
side.
something to be thought about and considered and
You know. So,
figure out where the funding's coming from.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, cause everything's prevailing wage, so it isn't gonna be
Not gonna be
a
cheap.
$50,000 building, it's gonna be 5 million.
Yeah.
It's a greater state of New York.
It's a quick shout out for you. I returned a couple calls this week and people were having a couple issues. And by the time, I called them back and they had already heard back from you and worked
Yep.
out a solution on a couple different things, so.
Yep.
Thanks for being diligent on that.
I tried to.
One guy
Okay.
talked, he was gonna be talking about moving his mailbox across the road,
Yep.
cause
Yeah, cause
he keeps getting.
that's the only one that's on that side,
Yeah.
and when you're out there all night long or all day long, and you forget about it, next thing you know, whoop, it's gone,
Boink.
you know, so. Whenever everyone on that whole street is on the one side, there's
Yeah.
on, you know, like, why is that? So, yeah, he's gonna take care of that, so. And there again, it's wind area, you're pushing that bank
Mhm.
off.
Yeah,
Deal.
Mhm. Skippy's doing a fantastic job. I can't complain. I will never complain.
Right.
But there's a couple spots up there. I can't see how come that rear dual wasn't in that friggin' ditch, pardon my language.
Well, it's nice that he's out there, so he can stay out of there pretty good.
Oh, God, he's got those pushback good.
Yep. Well, that's the thing, you know, if you don't, we're out there working all the time. Plus, if there is a fire out there, hard to get fire.
Exactly, Tim.
You gotta, that's the same way around the lake, you know, we push all that stuff back, cause them lake streets are so narrow. Something bad happens, there's gonna be a lot of fire companies there, a lot of trucks.
That's right.
Gonna be a burn down the whole lake before we get into it. So,
All right,
but
thanks.
yep,
Thanks, Tim.
Yep.
Water, sewer, we talked about the drinking plan. Anybody else have anything for water or sewer?
I do. Randy said that the hydrant on the end of Hazelmere is open and cracked, so it flows, so, cause it's gonna get cold this week. So he doesn't want that line to freeze, and he's got the line open on Maple Ave, just past Beamers in the woods there, there's a standpipe with water flowing there too, so. Hopefully that won't freeze that way or that way, and
Keep flow going, yeah.
he's trying to keep it flowing, so nothing freezes up. He did tell me.
That's MacGyver. He's pretty good at it.
He did tell me that.
I just have a couple things for town clerk.
Yes.
So next on that. Taxes are going well. The assessment inventory, which is the valuation of properties, is going to be available March 12th and March 19th, or by appointment at the assessor's office in Little Valley. And they will be filed on or before May 1st. That notice will be posted. It's going in the paper in the next 2 weeks, so people will have that. And I just want to thank everyone in town for their understanding. I didn't really say why, but the last 2 weeks I have been closed a lot. Very unexpectedly, my mom had a stroke, so I have been running back and forth to the hospital, helping my father, and today I was running, trying to find her next placement. So I apologize for everybody for the short notice and the brief or condensed hours that I've had available, but I didn't really have a choice. So, but I thank everybody for understanding, and hopefully it's getting better and I'll be here when I'm supposed to be. So
Whatever, take care of the family first there, Rebecca.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Scott,
The
even,
report's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. I was
do
looking at it.
you want anything additional? February, 1 building permit issued. Other notable things, the work at Woods at Bear Creek delayed until weather conditions improve. Main Street Solar contacted Commonwealth Electrical Inspectors for inspections, February 10th. Since we have dog control on here, where do we sit with that? Do we have anything left that we need to do as far as dog control? Or we don't have to sign anything else or pass anything else?
No,
She's good.
she's dog control, she's doing her thing, so. Yep, as far as I know, she contacts me when she needs to check on her dog and stuff, and
Yeah.
she's got a few people and need them mail in their dog examination, so she's doing what she's supposed to be doing, so.
Do you have a contact number for her?
Yep, I have it in my phone. I'll
You've
send
got
it
it
to
in
you.
there?
I'll send it
Okay.
to your phone.
Okay.
All right, youth commission.
We, excuse me, we are meeting next week to get ready to open up positions for summer for lifeguards and summer rec staff. We plan to hire back our same director and assistant directors. They both expressed interest in joining us again, so we'll include them in the interview process. And just waiting for this weather to break so we can start cleaning up the park and getting it ready for people to use.
Yes. All right, well, thank you.
You guys talked about maybe raising the fee for the outsiders to come in and use our facilities. Is that still in the process?
We do have a separate fee. We have for the 4 years that I've been on. I don't
Yep.
think we've talked about changing
Okay,
that structure, but it's certainly something. I don't have those numbers with me right now, but I'm gonna say ballpark, about 25 children outside of Machias
okay,
participated in our program, and about 45 were Machias residents. I'm not referring to town of Delavan or town of Ashford. That was a whole different,
right, okay,
be like grandchildren that come for the summer, or people, a couple of people from the lake sent their children and stayed for the summer, those kinds of
okay.
people would-
I know you had said something about Franklinville or something, that they were gonna try to be part of it or something. Or maybe I misunderstood.
Somebody called, but.
I don't know anything about Franklinville or Farmersville. Maybe Katie or Steve does, but I haven't, maybe that'll be
Okay.
next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Do we have any updates on the lifeguard grant or the? Another one that was due like right at the end of this, right at the end of the calendar year, December 31st.
Yeah, I forget what it was called. That was the latest one. No, I have not heard back from either one of them.
Okay,
About either one of them. I will
Okay.
reach out to that Peggy
okay.
that was facilitating both of those and see if she has any update.
Thank you.
She's waiting to hear back from the state, which
Sure.
is,
Yeah.
but yeah, I will reach out to Peggy tomorrow and see.
Hopefully the life one. We can know more, because when we wrote the grant, we wrote in there that there would be some signing bonus. We wanted to improve or increase our rate of pay for our head lifeguard. We're not really aligned to Sardinia with their pay scale. So we lose some potential local or more local lifeguards, Machias or even Pioneer School District lifeguards to Sardinia because they pay more.
Because they have waste management money there. Waste
Yeah,
management.
that's
pays for that.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
Just-
yeah.
That's a tough situation right there when you've got a entity that is paying for their park stuff. That's,
check,
it
basically.
is,
It
it really
is.
is. you know.
Yes.
It sucks for everybody else.
But if we can make it more competitive, that would be great.
Mhm.
Now, how often do they have to take a refresher course? Is it something they have to do on a regular basis?
Yeah, every year.
Okay,
They have to refresh their lifeguarding, but then the CPR and first aid. We have
Okay.
them do it all every year.
okay,
They're teenagers. We prefer that they have everything reviewed. And last year we had a lifeguard come and do like a mini course with them. Not just around lifeguarding in general, but a little bit more specific to teaching swim lessons.
good.
Which is not necessarily part of the lifeguard course.
Mm-hmm. Nope, you guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
We were just talking before the meeting, we are still working on getting the rest of the quotes for the security system.
Okay.
They just haven't been completed yet due to weather and stuff. But
Thank you.
planning committee, Dave.
Our next meeting is Monday, the 24th at 6 o'clock at the church here in Roscoe. It'll be to review the remainder of the proposed comprehensive plan and make any changes if necessary. So we've gone through the whole plan except the last few steps here. The next step will be to write the final document, and Kevin Sparks has volunteered to do that. So he'll write the final document, and then the next step after that would be we should have it ready here very shortly after this meeting, once Kevin gets time to write it here. The next step will be to have a public hearing. And let people look it over and see what their comments are, and then it'll go back to the county planning board.
Yeah, you guys were doing a great job. I went to that last meeting and it was very impressive. You guys are doing a great job with that.
Kevin has done a phenomenal job putting that document together.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, he is. Yep.
He has done a very good job.
Yep, been a lot that's gone into it. Well, we got some resolutions to look at here, guys.
Order, but you can move them wherever you want them.
Oh, I like your order. It makes sense. The first one we have here is the resolution stating that we, as a board, examined the town justice records last month. And I've got to send this signed resolution to somebody from the state to let them know that we did that. So just need a motion to move this one.
You got
I'll
it.
make a motion.
Beat you.
Second,
Yes,
I gotta let you know that I've been at the meeting.
Yes.
Tom,
Yep.
Yes.
all right, next one is a resolution authorizing the appointment to our vacant town historian position. Whereas we have a local lady, Janice Fisher, of Events by Jess here that has agreed to take the position and is excited to get to work on it. So I just need a motion to move that.
I'll move it.
Second.
Josh,
Yes,
Yes.
Yep.
Nick.
Yes.
Thanks for taking care of that, Josh. That's something we needed back again.
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be good.
Thank you.
He's got some good ideas already and
Yeah.
Bill has been badly missed.
Yep. Yep.
Next one is a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign the general services contract with MDA Consulting Engineers.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Josh,
Yes,
Yep.
Tom,
Yep.
Yes.
all right, the next one we had here was the resolution that we've been provided to adopt the drinking water source protection plan as our official plan. In lieu of Bob's comments and suggestions, I would recommend that we table this for another month until we can
Get it
make a
hashed
couple
out a
of
little better.
options.
Thank you. I agree, Josh.
Okay,
Do you want a motion for that too?
sure.
I did it. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next one we have here is, so we have two budget options here for to provide some funding for the town historian line. I've agreed to move some funds. I'm suggesting $500 to provide some funding for the historical position. We have a resolution here for a contractual amount and for a salaried amount. My recommendation would be is that we split that $500 and put $250 towards salary and $250 towards contractual, so that there's some money to handle some expenses as they come for whatever she might have. So if that sounds good to everybody, that was
I'll
my
make a motion.
recommendation
I'll make a motion.
for $250 and $250.
Yep.
Second,
Sure. A second.
we have to actually do the resolution, so, right, are you seconding both of them?
no, Nick second.
Okay, both of them, okay.
Oh, you want to do them both at the same time?
Yeah.
Both at the same
No,
time,
that's
fine,
good.
that's
Yeah.
fine. So, resolution for the contractual, Josh,
Yes,
Yes.
Tom,
Yep.
Yes.
and for the salary, Josh,
yes,
Bob.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
thanks. So now, back to what you were saying, Tom, we have in talking with Kathy and stuff, we have some reserve funds from this year before we close the budget that we would like to make available for what we're calling bicentennial celebrations or celebrations to start having some funds set aside for the planning of our 200-year celebration. I would like to propose up to $5,000 that's available to put aside for this. And then the idea would be, as we form a committee and have people start planning it and talking about it and seeing what we want to do for it. If we need more money, we could look at setting aside money over the next couple of years. If the $5,000 or whatever we decide on tonight is sufficient, then we wouldn't have to set any aside later, but at least then we would have this funding already set aside before the budget is closed for this year and go from there. So it's up to you guys, but Kathy said we had a comfort level of up to 5,000 to set it aside for this celebration purpose. So that's what I would propose.
I think it's a good idea.
I do too. I
Make a motion.
second it.
Yeah, thank you.
Josh,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Tom,
Yep.
Yes.
All right, next, we have a resolution to authorize the purchase of a John Deere loader. Would you like to say anything about that loader before we go on or no?
That's gonna be a trade-in. We do that's a 5-year and town pickup will be a 3-year. So every 5 years, that's like a trade-in basically.
Yeah.
It's I think it's 165,000. And I beat him up today for a little more, so. 165,000 for a trade-in, it's 200 some thousand, so 90 some thousand for a loader.
Same thing as what we've got.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the same
basically,
thing.
yeah, okay.
It's the same thing,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll make a
Yep.
motion for that.
I'll
Second.
Tom?
thanks, Josh,
Yes.
Bob,
Yep.
Tom,
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, the next one is a resolution to authorize the purchase of a Ford F-250. That we have here. Do you want to say anything about that?
That's just the same thing as it's a 3-year. We try to switch them out every 3 years, so. Instead of having a $70,000,
Yeah.
it's 40
44.
some thousands.
Tim, what kind of truck are you gonna go to this time?
Ford F-250.
Okay,
Dodge was $4,000 more.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Josh,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Tom,
yep.
Yes.
All right, we got this late breaking resolution. I sent it to you guys in an email just a couple days ago, but the county is doing this. And they were asking for all the towns in Cat County to follow suit in lieu of the price hikes that are being proposed by National Grid over the next 4-year span. What sounds pretty significant, the increases over the next 4 years. So they've put together this resolution for us with, which I just simply adopted to the town of Machias. It is basically saying that we're in opposition to these rate hikes and sending our support along with the county on this one. So I'll make a motion. to move it.
I'll second it for whichever one of you.
all right, Josh,
Yes.
Tom,
Definitely.
Nick.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay, there's different ones. They fix it.
And last but not least, audit of claims for February 2025 expenditures. For the general fund, we have 52,494.04. General youth 4705. Highway fund 44,346.66. Street lighting $2,151.65. Water fund 4,171.16. And the sewer fund, 6,790.93 cents.
You want a second, Tom?
Yep, I'll second.
All right. Josh,
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
You guys, anybody have anything else to add here?
No, I mean,
Tom?
I talked to you about what Randy was talking about, that we should maybe look into making some kind of, I don't know, a law or something like that. If these guys are gonna dig up during the winter and try that you can't locate, if they damage our water line, that they're responsible for fixing it, not us. So it's something we should probably think about.
I think we should think real hard about it.
Yep, yep.
What they're trying to force us into doing right now,
It's not, they shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, for people that may not know, a lot of our old water lines are wood. We have wood boxes. They don't have any tracer lines, so finding them in the winter is pretty near impossible. So the chance
Yep.
of don't mark them properly, not have them damaged is really the issue. Then the expense is ours if we don't mark them properly and they get damaged, so.
Maybe we can work with Randy, maybe we can work with Randy and put something together and bring it back to the board.
Do we want to do something now though, Tom?
Yeah, we should probably
Help
say
him out.
something now because they've got idle time, so that's why they're trying to do things now and they shouldn't be doing it.
Exactly. That's
Yep.
exactly what it is. And I'm sorry, if they want to dig now, it's their responsibility for anything that's wrong, or if they
Yep,
damage
Yep.
something.
yep, I think we should do.
Came into town. He did ask them the question.
Did you did that in there?
I told them it was impossible to find in the winter.
It's exactly it. I mean, crying out loud, you can't.
Yeah, and that's expensive to fix when we got to do it, so.
Exactly, Tom. That's
Yep.
what I say. And just because we've got a contractor that wants to horse around and wait until this time of
Right.
year and get something done before he has to start rate work.
Yep,
I'm sorry, that's not up to us.
no, no.
What do you suppose?
Well, I don't know if we can do anything about it. I know they wanted to start digging, but Tim's asked them to. But I mean, it's too late to force them into anything, isn't it?
Right, yeah, I don't know what the municipal dig law is either, I mean, you might have to have it done in a certain time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, so I don't know what that is either. I'm sure there's a municipal law on that where you have to have it done at a certain time. So.
Yeah.
That I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I think this is something we better look into though.
Yeah.
We gotta figure it out because there again, we don't wanna get put in this situation again.
No, nope.
Maybe change, we're at the point in New York that a lot of infrastructure has to be replaced, so this is gonna be an ongoing.
Yep.
And as the sewer wants to expand out and everything else.
Well,
yeah.
exactly. I mean, right now, the
district
water
expands out, everything
issues.
Expands out and other people, private contractors come in.
I think it's something we gotta deal with. Sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
I don't know if Darren would know anything about that in Delavan, because he has to deal with all that stuff too, he's water department, so he might have resource or something.
good idea, Tim.
I think you have to have something done in a certain amount of time, no matter what time of year it is.
Well, exactly, yeah, I mean, emergency situation, that's a totally different story. But
But it should be at their expense if they have to do it. I mean, if it's an
It'll be-
emergency and they got to do it, it should be at their expense, not ours.
Exactly, Tom.
But it would be
Exactly.
no different than somebody building a house in the middle of winter time. You still have to dig, or you still have to do all the dig notices.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's really no difference. It's
Okay.
usually in something else, so. It's something you have to look into with the state, honestly.
Okay, all right.
okay,
The State's gonna have.
Oh, they'll have 16 different answers in
Mhm.
relation, whatever to do, yeah.
I mean, it might have to be to the point where we go down, push the snow off and try to find it.
Try to find it and mark it accordingly,
Yeah.
you know.
Cause they have to be within 5 feet of it, they have to use a shovel.
Yeah.
So even if you mark it here, 5 feet that way and 5 feet this
5
way,
feet that
it
way.
has to be dug by hand.
yeah,
Happy digging.
Yep.
Giant gravel isn't the best digging.
No. No. Anybody else have anything? Well, you know what we do now.
I'll make the motion.
All in favor?
All right. Great job, guys. Great job.
Yeah.